All right, let's get into it. We're going to unpack something that is, let's be honest, a super frustrating part of being human. Why can one single negative comment just completely wipe out 100 compliments? So picture this. You've had a fantastic day. People are saying great things, you're on top of the world. Then, one person says one slightly critical thing. And just like that, that's the only thing you can think about. It's the thing replaying in your head, keeping you wide awake at 2 in the morning. So what is going on there? Well, first things first, your brain is not broken. You're not just being overly sensitive. What you're experiencing is actually a feature, not a bug. It just means your brain is running on some seriously ancient software that was designed for a world that was way, way more dangerous than the one we live in now. And that brings us to the first big idea. See, deep down, your brain's main job isn't to make you happy. Nope. It was built for one thing above all else: survival. Its default setting is to constantly scan for danger. To really get this, let's go way back and imagine two of our early ancestors. The first one is the relaxed ancestor. He's just chilling, enjoying a beautiful sunset, a nice positive moment. The other is the anxious ancestor. He's laser focused on a little rustle in the bushes. Now, who do you think survived to pass on their genes? Yeah, it's the guy who was hyper alert to the potential tiger. We are, quite literally, the descendants of the anxious ones. This powerful instinct has a name. It's called the negativity bias. It's our brain's natural tendency to give way more attention and weight to negative stuff than to positive stuff. I mean, it kept our ancestors alive for thousands of years. But today, it's the reason we obsess over that one critical comment instead of the 10 nice ones. The psychologist Rick Hansen put it perfectly. He said, the brain is like Velcro for negative experiences, but it's like Teflon for positive ones. The bad stuff just sticks instantly, while all the good stuff tends to slide right off. Okay, so we know why our brains are wired this way, but now let's look at how it actually works inside your head. It all comes down to something called the amygdala hijack. You can basically think of it as your brain's big red panic button. So here's a look at what's going on. Normally, when you're calm, your higher cortex, your rational thinking brain, is calling the shots. But the second you sense a threat, even a social one like criticism, your amygdala just takes over. It's this tiny, almond-shaped alarm system that can actually shut down your rational brain, throwing you into a fight or flight response before you've even had a chance to think. And that right there is the amygdala hijack. You know that flash of rage you feel when someone cuts you off in traffic? Or that sudden pit in your stomach when you get a critical email from your boss? That's it. It's an immediate, totally overwhelming emotional reaction, where your emotional brain just shoves your rational brain out of the way. And here's the kicker. Your ancient brain has no idea how to tell the difference between the threat of a predator in the bushes and the modern threat of a mean comment on social media. To your brain, criticism and social rejection can trigger the exact same life or death alarm system. It's wild. But it gets even crazier. The reason this stuff feels so intense is because, as far as your brain is concerned, emotional pain and physical pain are pretty much the same thing. Just think about it. For our ancestors, being part of a tribe wasn't a choice. It was survival. Getting kicked out meant you were on your own. So evolution took a shortcut. It made our social attachment system piggyback onto the physical pain system that was already there. And the result? Our nervous system really struggles to tell the difference between a broken heart and a broken arm. And this isn't just a theory. Neuroscientists have seen it. They've put people in brain scanners in the exact same regions, specifically the DACC and the anterior insula. They light up when you feel socially rejected, just as they do when you, say, break your arm. So when we talk about hurt feelings or a broken heart, it's not just a cute metaphor. It's a biological reality. Okay, so we're hardwired for negativity. Is that it? Are we doomed? Absolutely not. Because the most incredible thing about our brains is their ability to change. We can actually take control of this ancient system. The key is this amazing concept called neuroplasticity, which is perfectly summed up by the saying, neurons that fire together wire together. It means that every single time you have a thought, you're strengthening the pathway for that thought in your brain. Your brain isn't set in stone. It's constantly being reshaped by what you choose to focus on. So how do we use this? Well, Dr. Rick Hansen, the Velcro/Teflon guy, came up with a super simple but powerful tool called the HEAL method. First, you have a positive experience. Just notice something good, no matter how small. Then enrich it, really savor it for like 10 to 20 seconds. Feel it. Third, absorb it. Just let that good feeling sink into you. By doing this on purpose, you're actively building new, stronger, positive pathways in your brain. You're making that Teflon a little more like Velcro for the good stuff. So here's the bottom line. Yeah, your brain's default setting is to look for the bad news, to find that one threat in a sea of good things. But that doesn't have to be the end of the story. You have the power to retrain it. The real question isn't whether your brain has a bias. We know it does. The question is, what will you consciously train it to be biased towards? What good are you going to intentionally look for and really absorb today?